going from not being able to communicate to being able to communicate effectively as a style of leadership. So, what are the languages of leadership, and how can you use them to effectively communicate your message in a way that's going to allow you to be not only authentic to yourself, sincere to the other person, but also to be able to get the result that you're after as a reason that you're communicating. So, leadership languages is what we're going to talk about today. And there will be a challenge at the end. So, the first thing about leadership languages is leaders speak in the language of assignments. So, what that means is when you're trying to communicate with someone to get your point across, if you're communicating in a way that doesn't result in any assignments, then there's no way of knowing if what you communicated is actually going to be effective or if it's going to get results. So, for example, if you are tired of cleaning up the plates of your children after dinner time, you can easily just say, "Oh, this is awful. I do not want to have to clean up these plates," and then clean up the plates anyways. That is not a way of communicating under the four leadership categories. So, if you were to be using assignments, it would be, "I am sick of cleaning up these plates. I am refusing to clean up these plates after this. From now on, your responsibility is to clean up the plates. Your assignment is to clean up the plates. If you do not complete your assignment, there will be consequences. If you do complete your assignment, you will get rewarded, at least until it becomes ingrained. But the point is, assignments are critical when communicating. So, come up with an idea, come up with a way that you can communicate an assignment about something that has been bothering you for an extended period of time. Come up with an assignment that cures that thorn in your side. The next way of communicating in the style of leadership, a leadership language, is challenges. Challenges are things that allow you to make progress towards your goal without feeling helpless or stuck or unable to know what to do next. A challenge is going to be time oriented, kind of like a SMART goal. If you're not familiar with SMART goals, look them up sometime. SMART, SMART goals. A challenge is going to fit the criteria of being time sensitive. So, get this done in this amount of time, but it's not strict. It's not limiting to, if you don't get this done, you failed. It's actually a challenge to see how much you can do within the guidelines of what the challenge is. So I don't know if you're familiar with 75 Hard. 75 Hard is a challenge where you have to do something every single day for 75 days. And if you fail, you start over at day one. So it's a cycle that allows you to complete a challenge that overall improves your health for almost every category as long as you're capable of performing within the challenge criteria. But the thing that it does is it gives a goal a challenge, and it creates a community around that because it's a challenge, and that's how it went viral. It challenged people. The people who met it were few and they were loud, so they naturally spread the message because it was such an exciting moment when they completed the challenge. And challenges are critical because if you're going to go do something difficult and there's no reward in sight and you're working on an island and your reward hits your bank account next month, or doesn't actually change anything because the reward's a year or 2 years away. Challenges takes that away and provides immediate gratification. So, if you have something that you've been wanting to do but you don't know where to start, I challenge you to pick an activity within that framework and set a challenge to it. Give it 5 minutes. Try and figure out why you haven't taken action on it. And if you can't figure it out in the 5 minutes, what did you learn during that 5 minute challenge of exploring something difficult for you to do that's going to allow you to reach for a new potential, grow into a stronger person, overcome more adversity? That's the idea of a challenge. The next leadership language that I'm going to talk about today is going to be stories. And I'm sure that you're familiar with the power of stories because stories are what keeps relationships together for a long period of time. The story of getting married, the story of having children, the story of having grandchildren, the experiences that we share with each other in the struggles that we go through in life that are similar across multiple people make relationships happen. And that is the power of stories. Stories are behind massive movements, massive shifts in the world. One of the greatest stories is the foundation of a country, the foundation of a religion, the foundation of a family. What stories bonds us together? So I challenge you to find a story that you believe has had the greatest impact on your life. What story that you could tell to everyone and they would just think, wow, did that really happen? Or wow, how did you overcome that obstacle in that story to get to where you are today? Or are you serious? Is that a real authentic story? Because it is unbelievable. Did you really almost survive a car accident? Did you really get through the death of a family member that was just catastrophic? Did you really get through a worldwide catastrophe that stopped you in your tracks and held you back from your potential for an extended period of time? What did you go through? I challenge you to find a story that you're going to be able to use to solidify who you are, how powerful you are, and what you're capable of, so that you can be the leader you want to be. Leader of yourself, leader of others, leader to a direction. You get to pick. Now, the last leadership language, this is my absolute favorite. I'm totally biased because of my makeup, whatever it is. It is the language of vision. Vision is the ability to see beyond the horizon. I know, it sounds impossible. To see beyond the horizon. So what a vision can do is it can take you into tomorrow. Why is that important? Because if today we have to make decisions for today only, then tomorrow doesn't matter. Tomorrow is just another today. And that's what most people go through. That's survival. That's just trying to get through and keep food on the plate. That's trying to not die. If you have to make decisions only with today in mind and with no vision of what today's choices and actions will do to your future, it would be absolute chaos, and it is chaos. For anyone going through that, I express my sincere empathy and sympathy because I've been there. I went through a patch in my life where it was extremely difficult to figure out what exactly was going to be next, and if there was going to be a next that was worth anything of value to me and to anyone else. Many people go through that today, and the thing is, when you're going through that today, if you are feeling depressed, it's most likely because you're looking at the past. If you're feeling anxiety, most likely you're feeling about the future. So if you're feeling something like that and you're diving deep, you can actually go through and you can resolve those issues so that today you don't have to feel depressed. You don't have to feel like you don't know what the future is, like you're anxious because you don't know what's around the corner. You can design what's around the corner. You can decide what's around the corner for you using your vision. So my challenge for you is use your vision to look to the future to figure out what your ideal future looks like. For me, it looks like a family that gets to go on vacations quarterly. It looks like a family that gets to work on businesses together, investments together, most likely apartment buildings and real estate of some sort. That is kind of an ideal vision I have for myself. I want to be able to provide the knowledge and skills for my family using a digital legacy so I can bless the families of others. Because I believe there's a time machine in this world, and that time machine is within each of us to share our life experiences with other people in a way that shortcuts their learning curve so they can experience all the things that they want to experience in life with less of the lag time in between where you just do nothing because you're not sure what to do. If you could pick something you want in the future, go after it, achieve it, see if you want to stay there. If you don't, pick another one. There's no limits. The only limits are between your ears and what you can believe you can achieve. So I challenge you, go through this video again, pick up all the assignments and all the challenges that I hit along the way, and complete them. If you complete them and you send this to me, you're going to earn a free all-access pass behind the scenes into my digital mentorship program that's going to be coming out soon, where we get to go from stressed to blessed.